Yeah, it sure is a great day for golf, but then again, what day isn't? This was always my favorite part of the day. I knew on the first tee I was at least close to the lead.
Hello and welcome to Ecaps Golf. I hope everything's going well with you. Today I thought I'd just go through a shot process that's going to not only help you with keeping the ball straight and online and where you want to get it going, but it also cuts down the time that you might take over a golf swing, because you effectively want to be, when you're over the ball, you want to make sure that the only things that you're thinking about is your swing, and also not even probably thinking about the direction. So the rules of golf actually do state that they advise about 40 seconds to take a shot. And what this process will do is we'll break that 40 seconds down into two lots of 20, if you like, and then you can either go 30-10, or you do see a lot of the pros do this style of setting up, and it's just to ensure that you don't have any other thoughts apart from making a good swing at the ball. So basically it gets set up this way. So you want to think of an imaginary box around me here, and this is what's called your thinking box. So everything that comes to your shot selection, how you want to, the way you look at the ball, the sitting in the ground, the wind, all the conditions, everything else, all those little bits and pieces that come into your swing, you want to think about in your think box, because then the second part of this is called the play box, and literally, just as it says, all you need to do is be over the ball and take a swing. So there's no other thoughts or anything interfering with your as best as possible with that. You just want to put a good swing on the ball. So the way you would go about it is you walk up to the ball, and obviously, as I've said, you've gone through here. So let's imagine that this could be a second shot into a par 4. So you're thinking, all right, you've had a look at either GPS, or you've used your rangefinder to work out what the distance is, what the carry is to the carrying bunkers or front edge of the green, and you've had a look at your lie, and your lie is looking pretty good. Obviously, today's been absolutely spectacular. There's no wind around, so you don't have to worry about all that. And the second step would be to you can either have short or a long distance marker. I like to use both. So I'd have a short one to where I want the club to go over in my golf swing, and a long one to work out where I want to aim, and whether I want to draw the ball in or fade the ball. Okay, so the next step would be to get into your play box. Just put your club down to follow your lining up. Might want to do a waggle if you like, but that should just be a set and swing. So with that process, allows you to stay consistent with it. So you're not fast on one shot, slow on another shot. You get a good rhythm going, and it also clears your head when it comes to being over the ball. And because obviously going to the practice driving range and you're swinging all the time, so you're going to get all your muscle memory there, and you want to use your muscle memory over the ball. You don't want to use your muscle memory behind the ball or at any other place. So essentially, just all your thoughts, everything that you want to have about your golf game, is definitely here. Now, there's no given rule for saying 20 seconds there, 20 seconds there. That's the PGA Tour guys can do it between 10 and 15, I think, over the ball, and 10 and 18 while they're thinking about it. So that's how they get under the 40 seconds. So a lot of them, they'll spend more time with their caddy. That's sort of what slows their games down. And plus, they're playing for millions of dollars. We're only playing for probably a soft drink or, club comp. So this is a process that's going to just give you, it'll feel good rhythm, and you can do it on all shots as well. So bunker shots, putting. So you would look at the putt, read the line, might want to do a couple of just to get a feel of what the putt's going to do, and then walk up to the ball, line it up, and then make your putt. So it's just helps to have a nice clear head over the ball, and yeah, you don't get any of those shots where you play the shot and then you go, oh, what was I doing aiming over there? What this will do is help you just straighten yourself up a little bit, take a bit more conscious of where you're lining up and not just walk up to the ball. Now, there's other circumstances where you may not have your think area, or you're at a tee box and you just want to, you put the ball in the ground and you want to make sure, it's nice and flat. So you'll take a couple of swings, but you don't want to all of a sudden just do that. Okay. You don't want to go from making sure that the area is nice and flat and then all of a sudden you go to your ball, because you're lining up from sideways, as opposed to when you look at something straight on, you get a better depth perception by having both eyes looking at it. Whereas if you're looking at something side on, one eye is definitely taking over from the other. So when you're in that situation where you teed your ball down, you just want to check the ground, you do a couple of good swings, step away from the ball, so come back behind it, and then this helps you realign. So you're going to use your either short marker or your long. I use both. And then you come back to the ball, line up, do a waggle if you have a waggle in your pre-shot routine, and swing. So instead of being over the ball, laying it like an egg is another expression that you may have heard someone, if they take too much time over the ball because they're thinking about the grip, their knees, their shoulders, whatever they've gone through on their a lesson or they've worked on the driving range. You want to do that away from the ball. So you can think about it here. That's fine. I mean, you can make sure that you go, right, I got to remember that, and that on the setup. But just remember it here, though. Don't remember it over the ball. So when you're here, you can do all that. And then just go through the routine, line up, and get to the ball and swing. And then that allows any muscle memories that that you've been able to gain. They're the ones that are going to be into the forefront of your mind. You're not thinking about anything else. You're not thinking about what you want for tea tonight, or how long is this round going to take me, all those sort of thoughts. By going through this routine, you're probably going to think of them more here. And then when you turn to line the shot up, that's when you lock in, or the expression lock in will come in, where you just set up and then bang, off you go. And so by having that routine, the other thing is that you'll just have banter with your mates. That always happens. And if everyone goes, oh, you're going to hook or shank or slice or whatever the case may be, you're still sitting here in your think box, so you're not actually going through your shot routine. So it helps to keep people out of your head if you ever get one of those people in your group that like to do those things, by being here and letting them say what they want to say here, and go, that's fine, because you're not at this point where you're thinking, all right, this is where I set up and I do my swing. If they do it over the ball, then it's a little bit naughty, but at least by having that style of setup, that's going to help you out, hopefully, by hitting the ball a lot straighter and a lot more consistently as well. And being, you won't be worried about someone telling you that you're a slow golfer by doing that. That'll hopefully clear everything out. So hopefully with this lesson, and then you combine it with the, well, not this lesson, but this explanation, you combine this with the other, course management details that I've put online, then hopefully that's, without even doing swing changes, should knock off a few strokes on your round, but also just get you into a nice little rhythm, so then you can carry on with that during your practice. If you practice a lot, if you don't, that's fine. But hopefully with all this information that I've put online recently, that it's going to make a bit of a difference to your game. So thank you very much for watching and listening. And if you do like what I'm doing, definitely click like, subscribe, and hit the bell so I can let you know when I'm doing more videos. But that's it for today, and hope the golf really goes well after this one.